Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Uncle Rico's Storytime. I'm your host, Nicholas Johns. I'm sufficiently stoned and covered in aloe vera. I was out on the mountain today and decided to pop the shirt off. I wanted to get some sun on the man boobs. Didn't realize I was on the mountain. Got burnt up. I've always had big pecs, but anytime I start cutting weight, my pecs are always the last one to go. So I've been wearing a wife beater around lately. So I got the tan lines make me look like I'm wearing a bra. It's like one day I got in the mirror, I was like, what the fuck? So getting in shape, wanted to get some sun, and bit off a little bit more than I could chew. Reminds me of that time I was in the Navy. We used to go to the beach all the time, all the time. We'd muster super early, get Mando study classwork done. We'd hit the beach, I think, at like 1 or 2, start drinking. Get back to base at whatever time, go to muster, do it all over again. I was so dark, everybody thought I was Hispanic. Everybody come up to me, start speaking Spanish. I'm like, nope, no hablo. But yeah, there was one night when I was getting lucky with a, cover your ears, Chico. You don't need to hear this. I was banging a chick. Okay. And started to get undressed, and I took off my pants, and she started laughing at me. Not many girls laugh when I do that, so I was like, what? And she's like, no. I said, what? She goes, it looks like you're wearing underwear still. I was like, I had the underwear thing on there. I was like, oh my god. So, but yeah, that was more humorous than this latest revolting edition of that. So I was trying to get some sun, shedding some poundage, getting back in fighting shape. Gonna start looking studly again. Hear that, ladies? Get it while it's mediocre, because it's about to pop. Get it while it's mediocre, because it's about to get hot. Hotter than 95.5 KKS. Buddy, don't eat that. Yucky. So, went up to the mountain today. It was the end of a pretty craptastic 40-some hours. Let's call it 2 days. Just to round up. So, getting ready to head up to the mountain. I want to catch sunrise. Every time I try to catch sunrise, something crazy happens. So, I've got a buddy, not really a buddy, but my mechanic, who's a buddy, and this guy who's a buddy. They're both buddy. One guy, they're both recovering meth. Everybody out where I live in AJ is recovering, whether it be meth, fentanyl. So this guy, he's like missing fingers and shit and like crazy stuff. He's from Humboldt County, Oregon, Washington, something like that. It's pretty hardcore. Like, they were growers before it was legal and stuff. But he's always, oh man, I gotta get up to the mountain. So the guy that he lives with is gone, and so he was like, dude, he's gone, let's go up to the mountain. I said, yeah, let's go. I'll get the trailer all set up. I'll fix the trailer. He does odd jobs for me here at the property, and then I pay him cash. So the plan is, 2 nights ago, think it was 2 nights ago. Yeah. The plan is to wake up at 3 a.m., hit the road by 4, and be up in the mountains driving around when the sun comes up, or at least close to it, and start working before it gets super hot. We're in Arizona. It's 110 degrees during the day. So I'm getting the trailer set up, and I hear this U-Haul has been driving around my property for a while. I just let him work it out. I'm not supposed to have any contact with customers, anything. It says all over my private residence, private residents do not bother, So, they're driving around. This old lady's walking around with a straw hat and a bikini, and she's got her cigarette out, just on the phone, talking, blah, blah, blah. She walks outside my door. She says, "Hey! Hey!" When I open the door, I go, "Are you yelling at me?" She goes, "No, I was on the phone." She's not on the phone anymore. So I go, "I was going to come out and talk to you guys, but I can't. I'm not supposed to have any contact with customers. I can't. There's nothing I can do. What's going on?" And she goes, "Oh, he's trying to remember where his unit's at." And I go, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't help you. Call customer care. They'll get you all squared away. Like, I've got to I've got to reboot a computer. I've got to log in. I've got to pull up all this stuff. You've got to show me ID. Like, I just call and they'll get you squared away, okay? I'm eating dinner." So I go back inside. I hear, "Ah." So I open the door. I go, "Did you guys just beep at me after I told you there was nothing I could do?" And now the old guy's up there driving the U-Haul, and he goes, "No, it was an accident." And I go, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do, And so she starts walking off. She pulls her phone out again. He starts reversing. I'm sitting in my chair. I get my meal back, start the movie, and I hear BAM! Outside my patio. So I walk out and look out the window, and this jackass, I've got a self-storage property yard. So I've got a big turnaround spot, a little tiny funnel where my house and balcony and cars are parked, and then another big turnaround part. He's been driving around this property for 10 to 15 minutes. He's driven up to the front and turned around before. He's trying to reverse and like Austin Powers with the fucking golf cart in the hallway. So I go, "Oh my God." I open the door. I go, "Hey." And he starts reversing again. And this time, bam, he hits my aluminum balcony, like overhang thing. Boom. I go, "Hey!" He goes, "Yeah." Looks out the window. I go, "Turn the fucking engine off." And he just he's taking all these wide turns around my property. Takes another wide turn, almost hits this old car. I think it's a Mercedes. I'm not a car guy. Foreign things, a Beamer or something like that. It's an older thing. Almost hits it. I'm like, "Oh my God." So he's driving around. I run back in. I go, I pull up the camera. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I've already hit him see things. I don't need camera. So I run back out. I grab the wife. I go, "Hey, is your husband?" I go, "Your husband's fucking drunk." And she goes, "What?" And I was like, okay, geez, I better slow my roll. I go, "Is your husband drunk?" And she goes, "What?" Straw hat, bikini, 65, 70 years old. "What?" I go, "Has your husband been drinking?" And she goes, "Oh, no, he's just ornery today. I was like, hey, you better settle down or I'll take you back home right now and wear that right out of you." I go, "Hey, he just hit my fucking house twice. A sex joke is not appropriate right now. Like, you need to go get him and tell him to get out of that truck. Just stop and park it. We'll get it squared away. He needs to park immediately." So I go back in. I start to call my caretaker, watching the camera. He almost hits a pole. I run out. They get squared away and there's no damage. So I'm like, fuck it. I gotta get this trailer fixed and loaded up. They finally leave. I get the trailer loaded up. I'm figuring on crashing at like 8 p.m. This lady comes in. She brought in a trailer. She's moving from one unit to another. And she brought in a trailer to help. So she's been doing this since like 7, 8 o'clock. She's still there at 10 when we're closing up. So I go out, ask her what's up. She tells me what's up. Her husband took off on her. To leave her for the cleanup. So I'm like, well, okay, just leave the unit that you're vacating clean and whatever. The gate will open up automatically. So, of course, do a nice thing. She finally leaves at midnight. So we wake up in the morning, 3 o'clock. There is a thunderstorm. Again, I'm in Arizona. I wake up 3 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I'm tired, but let's do this. I wake up, swing my feet over the ground, and I hear I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? I roll over my bed, open the window, and I'm like, holy shit, it's raining sideways. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I get up, open up my front door, rain and pouring out. So I'm like, okay, I text my buddy, cancel today. Soaked. So I go back to bed. As soon as I go back to bed, it goes like this. I'm like, what? So I get up, open the door, and it's beautiful. There's water on the ground. I'm not imagining this. So I'm like, do I text him? I'm like, no, I'm exhausted. Fuck it. I'm going to sleep. So get up. Oh, that's what starts. So that's what starts the day. Before I go back to sleep, it was the first of the month, and I had my appeal for my VA disability. And your payment hits, if it increases or it doesn't, by the payment, and then you get a letter a couple of the days later. And so before I went to sleep, I didn't do that. I waited until I went to sleep. I was like, you know what, go to sleep, dude. You're gonna wake up and find out that you didn't get the disability, and it's gonna ruin you. I'm like, so I went to sleep. Wake up, did not get the disability. Now I'm on the internet. I'm like, fuck it. Pull up the singles app I'm on. I had two girls that were interested. We were chatting and everything, and both of them hit me up with the, hey, my time is valuable. So I'm like, great. Fucking wasted all that fucking getting to know you thing. You should have just said I'm a prostitute. But I learned my lesson. So I politely said, no, I just dotted him. Didn't even respond to him. Unfavorite, unmatch. Do not yell at a hooker. So that was over. I got going. I had an awesome phone call with my boss. We got a new boss, and he's got a right-hand woman who's doing all repairs and everything, and wants to go through all these new apps and communication instead of just texting me, check unit, whatever. We're breaking that down into like 20 different subtasks and pull down things that need to be tabbed. And so she gave me this pet project. This new guy comes in. I'm like, hey man, we're like crazy short of locks. I'm not overlocking. I'm not putting locks on vacated blocks. I'm using green and reds for whatever. He comes in and he goes, all right, I sent you new locks, and I get like 200 green locks. And he goes, yeah, I want all the vacancies to have green and then all the overlocks to have red. And I'm like, I don't have any overlocks. I'm not overlocking. So he's like, well, I want all the vacancies to have green. That's why I sent you so many green. And I'm like, okay, well, now we're going to be short green as soon as this is over. And then I'm going to be sitting with like 200 some red locks because I'm not using. He's like, well, start putting them over log. No, no, no. Okay. So this was his pet project. We're going to work out all the kinks with me before we do the other projects, right? So he has me do all this other work. Then he has me, I do like 3 walkthroughs of my yard, full walkthroughs. Then he has another bigwig in the company come through and do it after me already. And it's middle of summer. So I'm already hot. I'm like, dude, you got me out here doing this. And like, that was meaningless. So then they take the other ladies walk through and they send me like 40 units that are like, hey, these units need to be swept out and you need to take pictures and attach them to them and everything. And I'm like, what the I'm doing other shit. Our vacancy rates are at 50%. Like, this is not priority stuff. She put a deadline on it and everything, and I'm like, she improperly did the tasks, which was funny because she's harping on me for not doing the tasks. But so bad phone call there. We get to this point. We already did the color coding of the lock things, and we get to this thing where she wants the pictures, and I'm like, look, this is not a reflection of me doing my job. I'm like, there's 3 people in this company that kick ass, that aren't druggies, that aren't doing anything shady, and you're about to chase me out of here. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, you need to think about this. And at that point, I was like, well, fuck you, then I'm gonna quit. So I kind of let her have it during the phone call. I was like, blah blah blah. I was like, I was borderline subordinate again, and I said these pictures. I could take a picture of it dusty. I go, these were swept out before, and now they've been vacant forever because of our shitty app ideas and our raising rents when we're not even fixing garage doors. Like, our shit sucks, but we keep throwing apps at it, hoping it fixes it, and then we have to raise prices because of all these high-tech apps that aren't working. And I'm like, I bent over backwards on this first project for you, and now you're going to put a deadline on me to do this extra work that's unneeded, that's not, and then the pictures, she's like, hey, yeah, I need pictures on the, like, you know how hard that is when you're fucking sweeping out and blowing out multiple units? My phone stops working after a couple, because I'm pulling up codes, blah, blah, blah. So, bad phone call there with her. I'm driving to another property. I gotta fix this lady. This lady can't get her lock off. So I'm driving to this other property, and I'm in the right-hand lane behind a car that's going slow. There's a semi over to the left lane, and I'm not doing anything with it. Normally, I'm well known on the podcast that, left lane is for passing, but I just smoked and finished up this fucked up phone call, and I'm like, that's alright, dude, don't be a dick, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to be, and I didn't do anything to the trucker at all. And I look over as I'm exiting, and he flips me off, so I'm like, fucking let's go! So the exit that I was on luckily didn't have another on-ramp. It's just an exit. Otherwise, I would have messed with them. But it didn't. So I went to my other property. I show up. This lady can't get our lock off. So I put the combo in. It's locked. Like locked. And she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. She goes, yeah, the guy on the phone told me the back resets it. And I go, what, the back? You messed with the notch on the back? If you turn the code, if you put your code in and then turn the code, you can reset the lock. So this chick reset the lock. So you go, now I got to cut this lock off. And when you cut locks off, you get metal shards all over you. I was trying to go to the gym. I'm like, fucking whatever. So I got to go back to my house now, get my grinder, get my, other stuff that I use for lock cuts. So start heading back to my other place, and I get to this light, and this guy hurried up to get in front of me where we merge, and then slowed way down. We hit a stoplight. We started going, slows way down again. So I started riding his ass. Not too much, but a little bit. So he takes his turn and then flips me off. Lucky day for you, sir. You won 2 sets of rage. So I shoulder, lock him up, send a bunch of gravel flying, reverse in the gravel. Keep slowly pulling into this little trailer park thing. I follow him in. I roll down my window. And I go, hey, did you just flip me off? And he goes, yeah, you were riding my ass. I go, 'cause you were going 5 under the fucking speed limit, and it's already 35 out here. It shouldn't be. There aren't any fucking houses. And he goes, I'm a Uber. I go, I don't give a fuck what you are. And he holds up a vest. I think he made himself a vest. Maybe Ubers now wear a vest. I don't know. But he had an Uber. He's like, I'm an Uber. I'm working. I go, I don't give a fuck. I'm working. I'm driving from one workplace to the other. And you're slowing me down and impacting a bunch of other people because you're driving like a turd. If you don't know where you're going, pull over. And he goes, I'm a Uber. I go, fuck off. And he goes, oh, hi. He starts doing the smiley thing. And I go, I think I said something like, a life lesson, don't flip somebody off that can beat your fucking ass, pussy. I think I might have said maybe something like along that. So I took off, went and got my grinder and all my tools, and ran back and cut the chick's lock off. And then I go back to this other property, and this dude... I do a quick loop around the bottom part of my property and then park, and I walk up, and there's a guy walking out trying to get out of the gate, and I go, hey, what's up? What's going on? You shouldn't be walking around. We want you coming in on vehicles and stuff. So he's like, oh, we're moving out, man. Just like a really cool, you like cool, chill vibe, probably a pacifist, like, a little bit of a hippie, but more like, out there kind of weird, like asking me weird questions. I'm like, just like, So he goes, oh yeah. I go, you need out? He goes, yeah, I'm just waiting on my buddy. He's been, he's backing up the U-Haul. It's been a little bit. And I go, oh, it's cool. I'll let you out. Boop, 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 boop. Open the gate for him. He walks out. I walk in the corner, and this dude, instead of driving around, is trying to back up his U-Haul into, like, it's a figure 8. And then we have a little tiny cubby where there's 2 little tiny units. But it's like... And he's trying to... So I walk up and I'm carrying a clipboard, and I go, hey! And he keeps trying to drive, and I go, hey! And he's driving up and down. Finally, I knock on the windshield, and he puts it in park, and he opens the door. And he said something really polite that diffused me. So I was like, oh, I go, yeah, you can drive around this way. He kind of seemed more like a nerd. I guess maybe the guys were like more nerdy, like Dungeons and Dragons, kind of Magic the Gathering. But I go, dude, yeah, that explains. They're not U-Haul people. So I go, yeah, you can drive around this way. So I go, just make sure when you take this first corner, you go wide. And then stay wide. That way you have enough... clearance to it's just a simple tight turn, but just take this initial stay wide and then keep it tight. You'll be fine. And so he's off, and I open the door and I hear, I'm like, fuck. So I walk back on the other aisle. Dude's like stuck under the canopy, and he's backing up. Boom! Hits the wall, puts a nice little dent in there. Walking over, and he like takes off. He got it right. I'm like, whatever, I just don't even care at this point. So he takes off. I go back home, and this is kind of where it gets funny. So I go back home, and I have a buddy, Ryan, who's a rock star. Not yet, but he will be. He's a musician. He's bounced around a couple of smaller local bands, done his own bands. The Badger Band was big when we were in 5th grade. Unfortunately, we blew up in a fight pre-show, our first show. Our sisters got into it. We got into it. There was a bowl of nickels thrown across a garage. I believe that was the entry. It's a substantial amount too, 5 or 6, I think, nickels in there. But the Badger Band broke up before, but he's bounced around, and so he got picked up by. Oh my God, I'm so tired and stoned. Static Affliction. Static Affliction. So they kind of tour around a little bit, like a lower mid, good band though. But I got a couple of songs downloaded on my phone, listened to them. I'm driving home and I got one stuck in my head. So I like to just shoot messages to my buddies and stuff all the time. So I send a voice memo to my buddy Ryan, kind of making fun of his song. I said, I am a machine, I wash and clean. I wish I could just say something. All I do are chores, it's such a bore. I am a washing machine. So I shoot it to him. I'm doing my thing. He calls me and he's laughing. There's another dude laughing, and I know he's with another buddy of ours. Chappie is in town, so they're hanging out. So we're laughing and everything. He goes, yeah. I go, yeah. You know, I got that song stuck in my head, man. You might have something there. And he goes, that's fucking 3 Days Grace. And I'm like, shit, bro. I go, I thought you had a hit, man. And he's like, I heard another guy laughing. I go, who's that? Is that Chappie? He goes, no, that's Chris. I go, oh, okay. So I'm an idiot. I'm stoned. I'm already made an ass of myself a couple times previous with something. I'm like, yeah, I go, told a stupid story. We're just joking around and stuff. Said, all right, man. It was good chatting with you, buddy. I gotta go. I'm in the middle of a shitstorm. He goes, yeah, you too, man. The boys enjoyed it. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, I'm with the guys. And I go, what? I go, that. So you're with Static Affliction right now? And he goes, yeah, we're touring around the Midwest. We just hit the Wisconsin property line. The state line, the Wisconsin state line. It was funny that you sent that. I was like, oh my God, you guys, oh fuck. So they were like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, man? I was like, hey, nice to meet you guys, dude. I like your guys' shit, dude. Your videos are really cool. And I go, all right, Purds, I love you, man. I go, all right, guys, keep rocking. You got a banger. Oh, wait. No, you don't. He started laughing. So that kind of had an end to my day. I was like, all right, I cleansed it. Okay, I had a good chuckle about that. And so I'm getting all my shit ready. We're going to do the mountain trip again. The next day, which was this morning now. So we're planning for this morning. So I'm like, all right, 3 o'clock. We leave by 4 again. I'm all ready, set up. I'm going to sleep, and these guys are at my gate. My gate is offline because they redid my pavement earlier. And these guys are out there with their lights, honking. So I go out there. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, we've shut down, paved, you know, that's it. I can't let you guys in there, you know. He goes, oh, we're the stripers, the painters. So I was like, before that I was like, guys, we're closed in a half hour anyways. He goes, oh, we're the stripers. Fuck. I go, how long is it going to take? I'm supposed to get up at 3 in the morning. He goes, oh, we're real quiet. I go, yeah, okay. I go, well, this is that. I get him squared away. I go to sleep. I mean, I got 2 fucking dogs. they were extremely quiet, but I got 2 fucking dogs. So I wake up at 3, and my buddy doesn't hit me up, and he always hits me up. And this is the second day that his kind of keeper, the guy who hooks him up, who takes care of him, so he doesn't relapse and everything, is gone. And he's got this house to himself. So I don't hear from him, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to go back to sleep. I'm tired. It's a 2-man job. We're set up for a 2-man job. I'll hit him up later. We'll just do it in the heat. So he hits me up at 5, and he's like, hey, I'll be there in a half hour. I said, bet. So jump up, get everything ready. He comes in, and he goes, I look at him, and he goes, I said, morning. And he goes, I'm just going to be honest. And I'm like, fuck. So he relapsed, and which is fresh for me because I just tried to help somebody out. And he knows this. And I was pretty pissed, and I was very abrupt with what I did with them. And he always knows my rules with it. I don't have anything against him relapsing, but like doing it on property. And he did find it on property with an earlier relapse, and I kind of gave him a get out of jail free card. So God bless him for being honest. I was like, it's cool he was being honest. At least I'm going to be with him for the next, 8-10 hours, and he's going to be working it off. So, I go, well, I'm not going to cover for you if Lewis asks. And he's like, nope, I wouldn't expect you to. That's, I respect that, So we're driving up there, and it's like, I did not realize that now you're going to be in a truck 2 hours up there, 2 hours back with somebody that's tweaking. So he's like, dude's missing fingers, dude's missing teeth. I'm trying to listen to music. And he says shit like, Lower Borsheim, 6er on the left. What? Lower Borsheim, 6er on the left. And I'm like, fucking turning the radio down. What? Lower Borsheim, 6er on the left. What the fuck are you saying, man? I almost asked Lewis to grab me a 6er before he left. And I'm like, so, you can't buy liquor? You don't have your license? He's like, no, I can. What the fuck are you telling me that for? He goes, oh, well, that was kind of the reason why I did it last night. I go, nah. I go, dude, don't give me these reasons, man. You're justifying it. You fucked up. Just own it. Don't give me that bullshit. You didn't get a 6er? What are you trying to say, that it's partly Lewis' fault? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, that's what kind of... I go, whatever. I turn the radio up, and then I hear, calculated push band with the books. Fuck, I just ignored him. So 20 minutes in, boom, my trailer wheel fucking disintegrates. So I put the spare on. Dude left my sockets and floor jack in my unit when he fixed the tire on the trailer. So I'm like, no big deal. I got lucky. There was a socket that fit in my toolbox. I had another jack. I had ball jacks. So we change it with the spare, get going, we start driving. He says, shibbity blopsky booby doobs. And I'm ignoring him. He goes, shibbity blopsky dooby doobs. What the fuck? So I turn on the radio again. And I go, what? And he goes, oh, I gotta get me a pit bike and go up. He's been, the whole time he's talking, just chattering, 2 hours. It's just Humboldt, pit bike, and him doing drugs. And every time he starts doing on the drugs, I'm like, dude, I'm ignoring him at this point. But so I turn on the radio and pit bike. I go, buddy, I can't understand a fucking word you are saying today, man. You know, this is frustrating. I'm trying to drive. I've got a trailer, like, just. So he's quiet. I could tell he was mad. I was like, turned the radio down after a while. I was like, I'm not yelling. I'm just saying you gotta enunciate because I can't understand what you're saying. He's like, no, I got it, man. He's like, if I wouldn't have told you that I did that last night, you wouldn't have known. And I go, yes, I would have fucking known, buddy. And he goes, no, you wouldn't have known. I know it. I can handle myself. I go, you've been fucking over there twitching the whole time. Not the whole time, but you're fucking twitching. He's like, oh, it's because I did so many drugs back in the day. It's from a stem. They had to remove a part of the spinal. I go, whatever the reasons are, you're fucking twitching like a funky chicken. And you turned into gobbledygoosh, muckety muck chatterbox. I would have known. He's like, I don't know. So I turn the music up. Get 20 minutes. So the first tire blew 20 minutes into the trip. The second tire blew 20 minutes at the end of the trip when I was up in the mountains. Now, my tractor broke down in the mountain before, and it was like a 5-day escapade, and every day that it was up there, something got stolen. A jack, a solar charger, a cone. One night, vandals cut off my locks, unhooked wires. It was a mess. So now I got this trailer down there. I got no spares. I got one good tire. It's loaded up with like $400 of lumber, which, I mean, everybody that's up there has a trailer. Somebody's going to grab this. So we load up, we rearrange the truck, throw all the lumber in there except for the plywood, bring it up to the building, up to the house, what I'm building, utility shed. Get that squared away. Did some good work up there. Productive. Came back down, grabbed the plywood, threw that up on the mountain, and then came down, drove all the way down. So that was that. Got home and just checked all the tires and found out my truck tire is down to like 12 psi, so I don't know, I've got a flat there. I aired that up. I'm going to check that in the morning. I'm going to have to get new tires on my truck anyway, so no big deal there. But yeah, it was not fun. And I had 2 instances in like 2 weeks where I had to basically tell a tweaker that it's not fun hanging out with a tweaker. That one is yet to come. That's going to be a full episode. Stay tuned for Addiction. No, that's not a good title. Better title is, So I Banged a Hostie. But that's on next episode of the Lifestyles of the Not So Rich and Not Famous with Robin Leach. As always, champagne wishes and caviar dreams.